You ever been there? When you see a friend get hit with a totally normal question, but it just makes them shut down? Well, today we're going to talk about one of the toughest ones, family estrangement. This is for you, the friend. This is your guide on how to be the support system they really truly need after making one of the hardest decisions of their life.
Just picture it for a second. You're at a party, maybe around the holidays. Everyone's having a good time, and then someone turns to your friend and casually asks this question. It seems so simple, right? But you can feel the air just change. The whole mood just gets heavy.
And you watch them. They're searching for an easy answer, something that isn't awkward. Maybe they just say something vague to keep the conversation moving. If you've ever stood there in that moment, feeling totally helpless, wishing you knew the right thing to say or do, this is for you.
Okay, so let's start with what happens right after that decision is made. Because it's not like flipping a switch. It's not a clean break. That time right after estrangement is, well, it's a really complex and messy emotional landscape that, honestly, most people just don't see coming.
So here's the first thing you absolutely need to get. This wasn't a sudden, rash decision. Our culture loves to paint this picture of someone being selfish or overdramatic, but the reality is the exact opposite. Your friend? They almost certainly fought for that relationship for years, maybe even decades, hoping for a change that just never came.
Now, your friend might be feeling two things that seem like they absolutely cannot exist at the same time: deep, profound grief and this surprising, almost confusing sense of relief. And as weird as that sounds, it's not only normal, it's expected.
And let's get really clear on what that grief is about. They aren't mourning the toxic, painful dynamic they walked away from. No, they're mourning the dream of the family they needed, the family they deserved. It's a loss of a potential that was never realized.
Okay, so let's move on to the next big challenge, the outside world. Our whole culture is basically built on this idea that family is everything, right? And that creates this huge burden of judgment for your friend. This is where you can be their most important shield.
Because of that family-first idea, people, well, they jump to conclusions. They might see your friend's choice as some kind of personal failure, totally missing the years of pain that led them to this point. It's this unfair judgment that you can really help them navigate.
And you know what? Research from Cornell University completely backs this up. The myth is that estrangement happens because of one huge explosive fight, like something out of a movie. But the reality? It's almost always a long, slow, painful erosion. It's the result of years and years of trying.
So, what causes that slow erosion? Well, a lot of the time it comes down to this core concept: emotional invalidation. It's this persistent pattern where a person's deepest feelings, their actual reality, are just constantly ignored, minimized, or flat out rejected by the very people who are supposed to make them feel safe.
And this is just such a powerful way to think about it. Emotional invalidation isn't a big bang. It's a quiet, relentless drip. Every time their feelings were brushed aside, every small dismissal, it's another drop that slowly but surely destroys the very foundation of the relationship.
So what does that actually feel like on the inside? Well, it feels like this. It feels like you're invisible, like your needs are just a burden. It's that feeling that your real, authentic self just isn't welcome, that love always has conditions, and that no matter what you do, you're always falling short. This is the stuff that makes staying more painful than leaving.
Which brings us to a really crucial part of their healing journey, and a place where you as a friend can make a massive difference. Because after leaving, guilt is almost always there. It's a constant companion. And your job can be to help them reframe that guilt and start building a new life, one that's centered on their own self-worth.
This is so important. You might not know what to say, but here's something you can have ready. When your friend says they feel like the bad guy, you don't have to fix it. You just need to validate them. Saying something like this: "That guilt just proves how much you cared. Your love didn't have a safe place to land." It's so powerful. It shifts the story from "I'm a bad person" to "I'm a loving person who is in an impossible situation."
Because really, the ultimate goal here is to help them stop performing for love and start practicing self-care. Think about it. For years, all their energy went into trying to be good enough for their family. Now, all of that energy can finally be redirected back to where it belongs, themselves.
And you can help them build that forward momentum. You can be the one to suggest creating new memories that have absolutely nothing to do with the past. Plan a weekend trip, start a new, fun project together, find a cause they care about, and go volunteer. It's all about building a future that they are in charge of.
So let's bring it all together and focus on that path forward. Your support isn't about trying to fix the past. You can't. It's about helping them build a peaceful, authentic future. It's all about looking ahead.
And here are two really simple but really powerful ways you can do that. First, when they mention feeling a sense of quiet or peace, celebrate that with them. Acknowledge it. Second, if you see them starting to spiral back into old pain, you can gently ask, "Hey, what are you looking forward to this week?" It's a simple question that can anchor them right back in the present and the future.
And please, never ever forget this. This was not the easy way out. There was no easy way out. Your friend was faced with two incredibly painful options: the chronic, ongoing pain of staying in that relationship, or the sharp, acute pain of leaving it. They chose the one that at least offered a chance at peace.
This really breaks it down, doesn't it? When a relationship is all about obligation, when it's built on resentment and performance, that's not love, that's a deal. And you know what? Some deals just need to end.
In the end, it really came down to a simple but brutal choice. Keep trying to earn a love that came with conditions, or choose to love and protect themselves. Your friend chose themselves, and that is an act of incredible, profound courage that deserves nothing but your respect and your support.
So I'm going to leave you with this question. For so long, your friend was probably just in survival mode, just surviving. Your presence, your validation, your unwavering support, you can help them finally start to believe that they deserve so much more than that. They deserve to thrive. And a good friend can be the person who holds that belief for them until they're ready to hold it for themselves.